So inspired by the top YouTube retro gaming channels Lady Decade and Goldfish on Games, I've decided to talk about some top retro gaming paraphernalia that I own. Being these novels that I bought in the early 90s as a kid, based on the original lore of Sonic the Hedgehog. Because essentially I'm still a big kid who's kind of stuck in the 90s. They were published by Virgin and written by three guys under the pseudonym Martin Adams, who was a racing driver or something, and were only published in the UK, correct me if I'm wrong. So these four novels were published, and they're all the various adventures of Sonic and his mates Tails, Sally Acorn, Porker Lewis, of course a pig, Joe Susie the walrus, and Johnny Lightfoot the rabbit, and Flicky the bluebird. Being books for kids, they can all be read in 3 hours or so. A cool thing about them is they're based on lore that was created in Sonic the comic, I think. That's explained in the foreword of each book. A backstory that's not revealed in the games, that Sonic was originally a normal brown hedgehog who came across the laboratory of Dr. Kintober, a human scientist who crash landed on Mobius. A good scientist who explains to Sonic how he's going to attract all the evil on Mobius into 6 emeralds that he calls the Chaos Emeralds. He asks Sonic to help him out with this, and he agrees, provides him with his trademark red trainers and gloves, I guess, and a treadmill to train on which he achieves the speed of sound and turns into a mutant freak. So Sonic runs around Mobius searching for the Grey Emerald to neutralise the evil contained in the Chaos Emeralds. But before he finds it, in an accident involving Sonic dropping an egg onto Dr. Kintober's computer, the computer explodes, spreading the rings throughout Mobius and turning Kintober into his opposite, the evil, egg-loving, obese Dr. Robotnik, which of course is Kintober backwards. A pretty cool backstory, but I doubt anyone at Sega came up with it, so it's probably unofficial. All these books are well written, varying degrees of good, my favourite being Castle Robotnik here, where Sonic and Tails become part of a horror film Robotnik's making, in which he's making monsters based on Sonic's friends. Based on various horror films including Friday the 13th and even Hellraiser. That's what I love about this one in particular, is that it has these adult horror film references that I didn't get as a kid. I can appreciate them now as an adult rereading these classics over the last few years. And as they were written by an all-British team of authors, the slang used in them being mainly 90s with words like dude being used. Also, Sonic and his mates seem to be obsessed with pizza instead of chili dogs as in the cartoons. While remaining respectful to the original video game source material, they managed to get all this British slang and humour in. For example, in this one, Sonic and the Silicon Warriors, where Sonic and his mates get sucked into a computer, Tails keeps quoting from his dictionary of out-of-date slang. Coming out with bizarre phrases such as Oddkins, I suspect foul play, Elementary Inspector, and Gordon Bennett. With Sonic breaking the fourth wall and saying he's got a friend who's going to be talking gibberish to him for the rest of the book. Also, check this out. Look. You can see he's running. I still touch it. But my favourite moment of all of them is from this Sonic in the 4th Dimension. So Sonic goes time travelling, which he also did in Sonic TD, in which Sonic comes across a time travel gadget and goes back in time to stop himself from dropping the egg on Kintober's computer, so as to stop him from turning into a robot. Which creates an alternate timeline where Sonic is just running around trying to find the Grey Emerald, bored out of his mind. But the lizard mutants that he met in the 4th dimension, they break into Kintober's lab and travel back to the Big Bang to release the Chaos Emeralds into the Big Bang and remake the universe in their design. Then Kintober draws some of the technology he used in Sonic's time travel device to make a time travelling treadmill so Sonic and Tails can go back in time and try and stop them. Unfortunately, they're already too late and the emeralds are already en route into the singularity, and Sonic and Tails realise there's only one thing they can do to restore the original timeline. And that's to race back it forward in time to the moment where Sonic's about to drop the egg onto Kintober's computer that's going to turn him into Robotnik, to stop himself from stopping himself from turning Kintober into Robotnik. Wow. It's like the most gripping and intelligent writing I've ever seen in a kid's book. And the on-point physics of when the Sonics touch each other and merge into one Sonic to solve the paradox of there being multiple Sonics at the same time. Unlike in Hollywood films, impressed me so much that I referenced it in my short video, Thoughts on the Nature of Danger of Time Travel. In Castle Robotnik, they even reference Roland Rat at one point off of 80s telly. Amazing they managed to get in all these references. So in conclusion, these are classic childhood memories of mine, well worth checking out if you're after some old school Sonic vibe. Or even if you grew up with the 3D Sonic games and want to look more into the original lore and characters. Should still be available on eBay or in a second-hand bookshop like I found them in the 90s. Might do a video about the game books at a later date, also UK only, but I need to check them out again. But who knows what's next, it'd be pretty random up in here folks. Thanks for watching, if indeed you still are.